This is an answer to the video of the Einzelgänger, Why Invisibility is Power. So let's start and let me go to certain points and see where I don't agree that much with the Einzelgänger. So that is point number 30 seconds.
An individual's success seems increasingly synonymous with relevance. How much attention do you draw to yourself? How much are people talking about you on social media? How much exposure do you have on Twitter? How many followers on TikTok? How relevant are you when it comes to receiving attention from the audience and being part of the public discourse?
So I want to say here that it starts with a wrong perception. And the perception is that you do the YouTube channel, you expose yourself in order to become famous. That is one thing. And the second thing that he says is that if you say something wrong, then you will be exposed in the eyes of thousands or even millions of people that are watching you. Well, this is partly true what he says, because maybe the intent of somebody to create videos, it's not to become famous, but it's to talk about certain topics that he knows better. Me, for example, I create videos and I create the YouTube channel that I create with the intent, of course, to add value to my audience, but the further intent is to promote my business so that I have a presence online, people can see me, can understand that I can add value to their business, and they can contact me so that I can help them generate more sales, make higher revenues, and be in the position to pay the school of their kids, the career of their kids, and to live a better life. What's wrong with that? So it's not always getting on the point of getting famous and I want to feed my narcissistic ego. That might be the case, but might be not the case. On point 1 minute 35.
Again, relevance is today's highly sought after asset. Millions of people on social media are grinding, hoping the masses will notice them one day. For many, it's a dream to be famous.
Here, the Einzelgänger hits the nail on the head. But again, that applies to some people. So if you seek validation as a mean to find meaning in your life, you are in the wrong path. Because you depend on the opinion of other people. If that's your motive to become famous, if your motive is to get validation, and I see that often and often and often online, you know what I see? I see this advertising of happiness from tragic figures and tragic people. I see friends of mine that are alone advertising how happy they are in their holidays. So when you are happy, you don't really need to advertise that. So it's a valid point, but applies to certain people, to some people, not to everybody. So let's continue.
A major
At 3:15.
Which can change color, camouflaging to fit their surroundings. This power of near invisibility makes them less noticeable for both prey and predator. But let's not forget the elephant in the room here, which is yours truly, running a YouTube channel without showing face, basically being an anonymous voice, to which more than 2 million people subscribed. Some say it's cowardly not to show my face. Others think it's clever. It was a deliberate choice, with both pros and cons.
You are a coward, my friend. You are a coward. I show my face and I say my name always. I consider that a point of integrity. And because I grew up in a country where everybody avoids responsibility, I value a lot people that show their face, say their name, and say their opinion. Added to that, let me tell you that the biggest crimes in this world have been committed from people that are hidden behind anonymity. So to say that, okay, you have two options. The one is the clever option, to stay anonymous because I can be an octopus and I can adapt and I can do this and that. I agree with you, but I would rather be a lion or an eagle or a proud bull than being an octopus. That says something.
I value my privacy a lot. I value my privacy a lot. As a YouTuber, you already give so much away from yourself. Your thinking, ideas, creativity. Do you really need to expose more? Or at least more?
No, I don't really need to expose anything. But you say that as a YouTuber, you open yourself to the public. Yes, you open yourself till a certain degree. I talk, for example, about my business. I talk about sales because it's a topic that I know. I don't talk about my private life. I don't talk about my family. So I keep things privately because that's my private life. So if you go on YouTube, if you show a public face, it doesn't mean immediately that you will show everything from who you are, everything from your life. Certain things need to be kept private. Why do you assume that you will go and show everything to everybody? You mentioned afterwards that the audience expects to see from you more and more and more. Of course, the takers, they have no limits. The givers are the ones that put the limits to the takers.
I've chosen to remain anonymous. I think this method reaps the benefits of both worlds. I enjoy the fruits of my labor, but also maintain the peace that comes with living in obscurity, regardless of how many followers I have.
You chose to remain anonymous because you are a coward and because you don't stand for the things that you say and because you have no balls. That's why you chose to become anonymous. And let me add here this. There are many people that I met in my life that had different opinions than I had. But I respected them. I respected them because they stood for their opinion with their name. And although I didn't agree with their opinion, I respected them. On the contrary, if you hide behind anonymity, you do not deserve my respect. 555.
The interpretation of this ancient piece of wisdom is that when you try to look better than others, you may actually harm your character and likability. Also, generally, through behavior like flexing and bragging, you draw much attention to yourself, which places you.
Who talks about flexing and bragging and outshining others, as you mentioned? I don't want to outshine nobody. I talk about my business, to promote my business. What's wrong with that? The other people can do whatever they want. It's not my intent to outshine nobody. Now, if you expose yourself publicly, you should expect also the answers from people that don't agree with you, from haters, from whoever knows what they have in their head. Maybe they are right, maybe they misunderstand what you're saying. It's fine. You go public. What would be the alternative? Think about that. What is the alternative? Stay in the shadow, stay anonymous, let life pass, let other people make money, let other people do what you are doing. Let's go at minute 7.
Attacking you. Just look at the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard case, and how the latter became one of the world's most hated and reviled people. If she hadn't been famous, she would never have received this mass hatred. Her deeds would have been invisible to most of the world. Hers would just have been an obscure case of domestic abuse, like many others. Not everyone chooses to be famous, of course.
Okay, so that's a very good example. Amber and Johnny Depp. Okay, let me ask you guys. First of all, do you think Amber about your opinion? That is the first thing. Secondly, I guess 99.99% of the people that are watching those videos are not even close to the money that Johnny Depp has and Amber has. Now, everything in life has a price. There is a price for everything. The price for her having that much money, the price for Johnny Depp having that much money is the negative publicity that they potentially are going to get. There is a price for everything. If you are Ronaldo, many people are going to hate you, but you are Ronaldo, okay? And I think when you drive your Ferrari in your house, in your villa at night, and you drink a very good, nice, expensive wine, you are not going to think about the haters. And let me go to the point number 10. In the minute
This
is
whole
10.
superficial realm. In a world that values individualism, authenticity, many people want to stand out.
In the world that values individualism, the popular opinion is that individualism is a bad thing. People that look at their own interest, that are individualists, are superficial, are egoists and bad. Actually, the contrary is the case. Collectivism is the mother of all evil, not individualism. Everything good in this world comes from individualism. So it saddens me to see somebody intellectual like the Einzelgänger going on this path.
Aspects. Dressing differently, dyeing your hair green, or covering your face with tattoos. Sure, you'll stand out. People will notice you. I don't say there's anything wrong with these things. I think it's brave how people dare to go against the grain through their appearance. However, the authenticity of appearing different from the rest is skin deep.
At that point, I cannot agree more than the Einzelgänger. It's not the external, it's not the pink or blue or green hair that you have or the tattoos that you have. That's the easy way of differentiating yourself. The difficult way is to cultivate your spirit, your soul, to get educated, to have content of character, to stand for certain points and things in life. That is going to make you different. Not a piercing, not a tattoo, or not the blue or green hair. Now, those are my opinions. I have my opinions. I have the right to have them. I have the right also to say my opinions. My opinions are not the Holy Script. That means that I might be wrong in many things. Many times in the past, people that I talked proved me wrong, and I revised my opinions. So as the Einzelgänger has his opinions, I think he's a deep, sophisticated person. I have my opinions, and I say them publicly with my face, with my name, and I think that shows a degree of bravery and a degree of integrity that I don't know if the Einzelgänger has, because if he had, he would show his face. He doesn't dare to do so. But of course, that's his right. I like him. I think people like him and people like you guys that you are watching these videos and you might hate me, that's absolutely fine. And I think the world becomes a better place if nice people like me and nice people like you guys are sitting together, exchanging opinions, enriching ourselves, and become better versions of who we are. I love to be tolerant with the tolerant. Thank you for watching this video.